beginning of my video. Boom!
Welcome back to Boring Reviews.
Boring land.
Oh, just kidding.
Blasphemer!
All
Hello,
right.
Boring Review Nation!
Kind of pointless.
We know all things. It was over in a snap.
We really want it. Alright, we'll be nice.
Only you can be a Patreon.
Oh my gosh! Oh my gosh!
You don't need to follow the show to be hyped.
Hello, Boring Review Nation! Gabe!
Pumps me up every time. Nick!
And we are here today to review a movie that has actually been requested quite a bit, or react to, I should say, a movie that's been requested quite a bit. Nick, do you want to introduce the film?
Yes, English Vinglish. So to say English in Hindi is Angrezi. I wanted to say Vinglish would be Vangrezi. No, probably not. But anyways, like he said, it's been requested quite a bit. Once again, you're going to be hearing this a lot, and we love to give credit where credit's due. Bay has hooked us up with the subtitles for this trailer. Another trailer, since it's been requested, did not have subtitles, and we couldn't react to it in the past. Now we have the freedom to do so. So thank you so much, Bay.
When I think of English Vinglish, when you hear that title, it kind of it's almost like a parody of the word, or you know what I mean? So you know how you be like what is it like
yeah, like you say, school schmool or something like
exactly. So that's what I'm thinking of. We'll see if that's what it is. How about yourself? Sounds like a comedy for sure.
I hope so. There's a guy that I knew in my younger days that would do that to everything. He would add the sh to everything. And, you know, he was just such a funny guy that it worked every single time. And I'm not going to lie, for many years after that, I caught myself doing the same thing to certain words. You know, you do it to kind of make fun of something. Like someone will say, like, I have the greatest car of all time. And you go in the car and you say, car schmar. You know, it's just, it's not the nicest thing, but it's also just tongue in cheek. It always puts a smile on my face.
Right. But you know, it probably not with everything. The dude did it with everything.
Well, you know, within reason. This guy, he was just hilarious. So, like we used to say when I was younger, this guy is comedy. I mean, there are certain people that just are funny nonstop, and whatever they say is just gold. He was one of those guys.
I know a few people like that. You know, the mannerisms. It's hilarious. All right, man. Let's check this thing out. Without further ado, guys, in 3, 2, 1.
That one was drawn out. Thank you very much.
Next. How you doing today, ma'am?
I want
I asked how you were doing today.
I'm doing
What is the purpose of your visit to the United States?
my sister's attending my wedding.
What?
ये ब्राउन ब्रेड सफेद अंडा ये सब तेरे नए डांस क्लास के बाद शुरू हुआ तो क्या तुम्हारा वो झांस डांस
Mom, it is not jazz dance. It is jazz dance.
घर में नहीं पढ़ सकते
तुम पढ़ाओगी मुझे इंग्लिश लिटरेचर?
अरे वो अमेरिका है तुम अंग्रेजी भी ठीक से नहीं जानती ना My wife, she was born to make laddus.
मौसी, आप सिर्फ लड्डू बनाने के लिए पैदा नहीं हुई।
हेलो English tuition?
Dude, she's got amazing eyes.
I can come in?
You may not.
But
You need to ask, may I come in?
बदला नज़ारा यूं सारा का सारा न्यू
Hey, where's your hands?
मैं happy क्यों
My name is Laurent.
Eva.
Salman Khan.
I Shashi from the India.
No, Sashi, not from the India. From India.
Why India, not the India Why America? The United States of America.
Oh man,
that was probably the best line of the trailer. That was pretty cool.
That was awesome. That was, justice right there for our main girl there. Like I said, she's got amazing eyes. That was unbelievable. I want to say I've seen her in movies before, but I'm just not sure. But regardless, after watching the trailer, I'm like, oh, what a dummy. That makes more sense why English Vinglish trying to figure out how to learn that language. I only know one language. I don't think I know it that well. I only know one. I know you're bilingual. You got more skills than I do. Most of our audience, if not all of them, are at least bilingual, if not trilingual and quadrilingual, whatever that phrase is.
Right.
It's super hard to understand the nuances of every single language and try to figure it out.
Right.
We go to school for years just trying to figure out language and how to read and write and all that kind of stuff. And I hope, I can't say 100% because I'm not exactly sure. I hope I have never been one of those morons to say, how do you know be in our country without knowing our language? What's wrong with you? Because it's such an ignorant thing to say. We have so much diversity here in the United States. We have so many different languages that are spoken. Not everyone knows English. So yeah, you're right. That was a great end of that part. But that movie looked like a different type of film that we've been used to.
No, definitely. And I tell you what, for me, having first learn Spanish, then learn English. English is a hard language to learn. There's so many different nuances, so many different rules. And, think about, I remember not Kevin Hart. It was Cat Williams. I saw him live here in Las Vegas at the Pearl. And he had a stand-up show. So he said when he was in elementary school, he used to think his teacher was stupid because, she would spell words that wouldn't make any sense. And he was like, okay, spell cat. Cat. C-A-T. Cat. Very good. Spell knife. Knife. N-I-F. So then she was like, no, knife. K-N-I-F. He's like, that's knife. You know what I mean? And I always remember that joke because most language, at least in Spanish, you read it as you sound out every single word, but we don't have all these rules, silent L's, silent N's or those blending concepts. Matter of fact, when you have different letters. Like if you ever seen the N in the Spanish language, there's two N's with the little thing on the ñ, okay, which means you're going to say it differently, or the double L, okay, from la or ja, okay, ja would be the double L like llave instead of L, lavar. So you would say it differently as opposed to just knowing that, if the K and the N is together, you're going to, the K is silent and all those other rules. So, I can almost imagine how overwhelming it must be for somebody, especially that's an adult, for the first time to come and try to learn a different language and a language as complicated as English. She seemed to be a champ. She handled it really well. There was something almost endearing about her, very sweet, very innocent. And I love that. She asked a very interesting question. She was like, if it's the United States of America, then why isn't it the India? You know what I'm saying? And I can't even answer that question. Why is it? So I thought that was pretty cool.
Yeah, I'm sure if you really thought into it, United States of America, America is just a nickname almost because it's the end part of the United States of America when you're talking about all different states. India has states, but it still makes a lot of sense. But one thing that I caught on there that I think is interesting that this movie attacks, maybe not attacks, but it addresses, is when she's in there and she's serving the people in her house, and it looks like that's her husband who kind of makes fun of her and says, she's only good to make those ladus or lassus, whatever that word was for that thing. It's easy for you as a viewer to say, her husband's a jerk. But think about this. When you are in an unfamiliar place or you're in a new country, and maybe you've been there for many, many years, but you still inside feel maybe not completely connected with that community or with that area, you want to fit in. And one of the easiest ways to fit in, and I fell into this trap growing up, is to make fun of other people so people are laughing with you. And so it's interesting that it addresses that in some way where this is her husband, I'm assuming. Maybe it's her brother, who knows. But where he is at the expense of his wife or his sister, whoever she is, he's willing to put her down to make himself feel more at ease and, you know, look at me and I belong here, I belong in this family. I think that's really interesting because that's something that we see in our society all the time. People are willing to sacrifice others just for a cheap laugh or for maybe a good laugh, whatever it is. And I'm glad this is addressing that because that's real life right there. And I like to see real life happen in these movies, even though, yes, I love comic book movies. I thought that was really cool, and I'm interested to see if it dives more into that or that's just a small snippet of the movie.
No, definitely. And I mean, sometimes you can just not knowing the language and not understanding the nuances of the language, you know, you could say the wrong thing. And I'm trying to think about the film. It was with Ifran Khan, Ungreasy, right? Ungreasy Medium, when they're trying to get into London, and you know,
brother,
yeah, and they're at the
drugs.
At the TSA, he's trying to say pharmacist, but they're like, you know, he does drugs, he sells drugs. Like what?
He takes drugs from one place to another, and we're going to help deliver those drugs.
And that was like such a funny scene, but it could actually happen because they're just looking up words on the internet and trying to. So I thought that was so funny there, and I'm glad that they addressed it. I'm excited to check this film out. It's definitely a different tone. You know, we've watched a lot of gangster films. We've watched a lot of historical pieces. We've watched war films, sports films. This is a little bit different. I think the closest thing I can probably say this is not similar to, but maybe like Ungreasy Medium, you know what I'm saying? Where it's a little bit different, more contemporary issues that are really present and prevalent today.
Yeah, totally. I'm excited too. This looks like another quality piece. It's cool that Obey is able to get us these trailers that have the subtitles because, again, not that we have been looking at trailers that are garbage, but these are, you know, highly requested once again, kind of like when we first started in with this YouTube channel and we were just watching A+ after A+ after A+. It's cool to get into these. So thanks again for these trailers. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to check out some more videos from us. And until next time.
We know all things.